Unpacking the subscription service that gear enthusiasts really love. BattleBox is a monthly subscription service that caters to outdoor enthusiasts, survivalists, and everyday carry gear aficionados. I guess I would fall into the category of survivalists and EDC aficionados because I'm not necessarily as much of an outdoor enthusiast as I would want to be because I got a lot of kids. But I like the package you get for this. And see, the thing is, this company curates a selection of products each month, ranging from camping, hiking, and also you can get some emergency equipment, preparedness tools, and tactical items. Subscriptions choose from 4 different tiered levels. You got basic, advanced, pro, and then also you got Pro Plus. I have the Pro Plus box here. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you jump into this bad boy. The appeal lies in the subscription for the potential of finding new gear every month that you've never heard of and discovering useful items from a variety of brands and try to pull you away from the stuff that you normally do. This is the Battle Box. This is the Pro Plus. First time I've ever unboxed one of these bad boys. Shout out to BattleBox for sending this out. They're not sponsoring this video. Matter of fact, they don't even know I'm doing the video. I wanted to unbox it with you guys just to show you what it looks like. So first off, the first thing that I am met with is the Mission 125 brief. You get inside of this. Why would you want to get something like this? I used to get clothing subscription boxes and services. And with those services, I think it was like every month for the subscription I went for, I was really trying to find me, basically try to find me a good looking wife. Okay. And I was really struggling, not necessarily finding my style, but keeping up with the newest stuff and also just finding stuff that I would be able to wear on dates that wasn't always junked up by me cutting the grass and going out and doing this and doing that. That's why I subscribe to those monthly clothing service boxes. And I did that for a while until the one I was going to, they actually went out of business. But I did it for literally well over a year and a half, and I had no issues with it whatsoever. So here's the railroad lantern. It's all up in your face right there. There you go. This does seem to be well packaged, and this is a vintage railroad lantern inspired unique steel case. I like that. Sealed glass globe, a stamped steel construction, 3.2 watt warm Edison style LED bulb, 3 settings. You got low at 35 lumen, high at 200 lumen, and the spectrum is between 25 and 3,000 Kelvin. This is going to be the type of light that you would use in emergency situations. Maybe if you don't want to completely just go too ham or go too hard, you know, with your night vision and you're walking from one part of your camp to another part of your camp. Maybe you decide that something like this works out for you. So let's pull this out, see what we're working with. I love the old school look of it. Here's the input right here. Let's see if you're charging with USB Type-C. It is USB Type-C charging. When you get it, in the box itself is the battery. This is, it looks like 2 18650s fused together in a cell. It says it's a 4400 milliamp hour battery. Yeah, it is 2 18650s. It literally says that. So 2 18650 batteries, and then you get a USB-A to USB-C charger here. Now, where do we put the battery in at? Down here. Looks like we kind of just, there we go. Yeah, so you don't have to take the wrapper off. There you go. Just leave that wrapper on, guys. You should be fine. There you go. So it came halfway charged. Looks like right here is how you actually lower. And so you got low lumen, 35 up to 200 lumen. It does have a dope look to it. Of course, you can hang it right here. You could even hang it upside down if you wanted to. I'm assuming it's not going to get hot to the touch because it's LED. So if you wanted to leave this thing on bright and a kid walked up to it, you wouldn't have to worry about that. We have some potassium tablets, thyroid blocking, and a radiation emergency only. Helps prevent radioactive iodine from getting into the thyroid gland during nuclear radiation emergency. Use along with emergency measures recommended by public affairs. This is pretty smart. I would never think to buy anything like this. I could imagine during some time of thermal fallout, or nuclear fallout, you pop these things in accordance to the instructions. It's going to try to keep it from attacking your thyroid. You can keep this in conjunction with your gas mask, and it's probably going to give you a good level of just readiness and protection. Okay, I like that. This is one of those things when they say a piece of kit or gear you would never get. I've done probably a few dozen survival videos or prep videos on this channel. I've never included any type of tablets like that. Okay, so this is the knife. We'll get to that here in a second. You also get, let's just pull everything out. 100% reusable if you wanted it to be reusable. We have the contingency planner. Now this is a great idea. It's write in the rain paper, so you don't have to worry about whatever you write on here getting wet. But you see, I just pulled this off and it did come loose. So I would just want just to make sure that these are some plastic retention clips. I kind of instantly wish that these were metal. Now I only bring that up because I have a contingency plan that I've written for my family, and also you can let other people know where you're at. So this thing is going to have notes. Let's see, card of the day, how to authenticate this table, how to make a pace plan, and this is going to be a lot easier to do than you trying to DIY it yourself. Mine is in an 8x11 notebook and a binder rather, so 2-inch binder. So this is a lot easier to use versus that. I would just say these rings, I wish they were a little bit better, but I think that this is going to be something that you could also throw in a larger notebook or plan if you wanted to. I like this. Then we have the search and rescue knife. This is a compact blunt version. I saw one of these at SHOT Show in Las Vegas. A lot of companies are coming out with this style of knife where it still has a cutting edge, but it has the blunt edge for prying purposes, because every knife that we have, for the most part, you shouldn't do prying with. You shouldn't do stupid shit like that with them. So this is kind of what it looks like on the packaging purposes. So the way you remove the blade is you actually give it a small twist to pull out. Just kind of one way to make sure you retain the blade and it doesn't accidentally come out. This might be a great blade to wear like on a plate carrier or something like that. Someone's not going to know how to take this out. I love the fact that this is blunted on the end. You still get a serrated side, which is great for cutting stuff that's fibrous like rope and burlap. Then on the other side, you get a straight edge. I don't know what the blade makeup is for this knife, but it's 420C stainless steel for freshwater use. You got torque screws, you have a serrated edge, belt mount. So once it's in there, it is locked in there, and to get it out, you have to give it a little twist to remove it from the tool itself. That's going to be a couple of good things. A, you won't have to worry about your kids taking it out on accident. But B, if it any type of situation where you're fighting or whatever, you know you have to give it that twist just to get it out of there. This is a nice little neat tool. You get a USB to USB-C to USB-C cable. This is charging 3 feet. I don't know what the charge speeds are, what this is rated for. So it does say equipped with fast charging, 6 levels of armor protection, 30 feet of 550 cord. That's pretty cool. This is a simple concept. Take a high quality USB to C to USB-C cable and wrap it in paracord. So very simple concept. Let's see how fast it charges. This unit can output 140 watts. This thing can receive 170 watts. I have cables that can pump out 240 watts. 60 watts, that's going to be enough to charge your MacBook Airs, your MacBook, a basic level MacBook Pro, kind of keep it alive instead of just carrying a regular cable around. And then we got to talk about the knife of the month. All right, so we'll use the rescue knife to cut the box for this knife, for giving you that warning, and then wrapped up as if it were, oh my gosh, first impression. The micarta on this bad boy is lovely. Like, this is some of the most well done micarta I felt. This is a Three Rivers Manufacturing black micarta. I like this, but the micarta on this is just a whole different texture. It feels more like achievable. Let's compare holes while we're at it. Okay, so you have that big old hole there for the TRM Bulldog Rev B, which is a larger hole, but even this BXTR seems to be pretty comparable, and it also has the flipper. Now, a couple of things I'll tell you before I even get into this. I wish there was some jipping on the flipper. Not because I don't know if it needs it yet, because I have literally never opened this. It's just that, you know, I feel like jipping always makes me more prone to use the flipper tab Not that I need it. I can bring it a little bit closer so you can kind of see better. Now, the knife itself does give a lot of good vibes from usefulness. I love the micarta. I see the jimping up here on the spine of the blade. I guess if you get up on that bad boy. And then I see a really good pocket clip. I don't know if that's stainless steel or if it's titanium, but it feels extremely strong. It has a back spacer instead of standoffs. It is fully lined in there. And a little bit of fraying on the micarta. I don't know if that's the paper that this was packed in or if it's actual fraying in the micarta. All right, so let's just do a first little opening. Ooh, okay, I like that. I like that opening. I like that opening. But I really want to know, so it's a liner in there. And I wish it did have a little bit more of a ting. This big of a hole, okay? This has a really big hole. And I'm used to knives that have big holes like this, really just having a more of a ting sound. So here's what it sounds like. But if you listen to this Three Rivers, you hear that ting sound? Now, obviously, this is different because this is a crossbar lock, so there's more going on inside with the springs and the closing mechanism to get that sound out of this, where this is just a liner lock, way less parts. The liner lock moves into place. It's going to create it's just going to make a different sound altogether. But the blade has a very good blade shape, has a finger choice for you to kind of get up on there if you ever needed it to. And I like the D2 on this. I love the fact that D2 is a pretty good for edge retention, and it's normally pretty affordable. I don't know what the pricing is on this. I will put the pricing up. And I don't really like doing those like if you bought it on your own, because the price of the box is not just the crap inside. Spidey Flick does work on that. I like that. Another Spidey Flick. Yeah, I like the fact. Now I tend on liner locks to allow my thumb to get in the way on purpose. Whenever I'm closing a liner lock, then I move it out of my way. This knife does feel like it's going to cut me. Normally, you know, it is what it is on a liner lock. This one does feel like it will get me a little bit, but it just feels very, like, look how much blade you're getting on there. That is almost, it looks like 3.25 inches, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I don't have a measure on me right now, but here's my Bulldog with a 3-inch blade. So this looks like you're getting a 3.5, maybe 3.25 inches on there. Instead of a drop, it looks like a clip. So this is a capable knife, especially for outdoor use. The micarta, you're not going to worry about those scales. The D2 is going to be carry good edge retention. I like the detailing of it. This feels like a nice knife. This feels like a great knife to gift to someone and to just keep for yourself. The pocket clip feels decent. I haven't put it in a pocket yet. So how would that feel coming out? This is going to rip. Okay, the pocket clip's pretty strong. Make sure the trousers you have are going to be ready for some ripping action. So we can see that the play on your knife will be the pocket clip. And this is when sometimes I carry these kind of like tools with me just to tighten up stuff on my knives. This might be one of those instances where you carry a small toolkit just in case you had to tighten up stuff for your pivot or whatever. It looks like T8s all around, maybe. I don't have a measure tool with me, but this does feel like a capable knife. So the battle box, if I were going to be subscribing to this service, I personally would go for the highest tier. The reason I say that is not because I'm trying to get you to spend more money. If you have the disposable income, then this is useful for you to figure out what you do and don't like for outdoor survival and EDC gear. You do it for however long, 6 months, a year, 3 months, whatever. Decide you do and don't like the stuff that comes inside. But you're not just paying for the stuff inside. You're paying for a curation. People curating. You're paying for discount codes. You're paying for knowledge. And you're paying for shit you probably would never think to do yourself. I would never think to buy these tablets for a nuclear fallout type of situation. And I DIY my own contingency planner. And I guarantee this has more in this contingency planner than mine. Mine has where we're going to be located. It's a big ass binder. Can I see myself finding this useful? 100%. Is this something I would recommend for you? I think if you are always on the hunt for gear and you don't want to just rely on reading articles or going to YouTube videos, then this is a way for you to find new gear. This is also the type of spend that you do if you have the type of income to do so. I mean, to spend this much money per month, I don't know what it costs. I'll put it on the screen. For a box means that you do have the disposable income. So instead of going out to eat that many more times a month, maybe you put it towards here. Instead of going out and golfing an extra few rounds that month, maybe you decide to put that here. But if you are struggling already financially, then this is just not something I would recommend that you do in any capacity. Comment down below, are you subscribed to BattleBox? They've been doing this for a very long time. This is not their first rodeo. I would love to know what you think about them. And if this is your first time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.